Guess what, Flop?
It's me, Drasnae, and welcome to my castle. Let me just tell you a little bit about where I am, girl. I am in the bush. Like literally the South African wilderness. I am a queer POC man, giving gay, girly energy in a place full of snakes, dust, and men who think the height of luxury is drinking a black label next to their bucky. Captain! So there I am, on the patio, playing on my Switch 2, living my Pokémon fantasy. And suddenly, I see this monster, a kaiju. It was a cricket, but not like a chirp chirp cricket, no girl. This thing was built like Godzilla's cousin. It was heavy, slow, Bitch, every step it took sounded like it had its own bass line. Like, if this thing had wings and flew into me, it would feel like a softball had hit me in the chest. Like, girl, baby was massive. The gag is, I just sat there staring at it. Like, I see you, you see me, we see each other. We see each other. I'm in my section, you in yours. So we had this unspoken agreement of you stay where you at, bestie, and I'ma stay where I at. Stay Tina, bestie, and we stayed. We good. But anyways, that's just the kind of wildness I'm going through whilst making a Pokemon video for y'all. Okay, girl. Real talk. What actually happens when you try and run away from a trainer battle in Pokemon? Like, we all know you can run away from a wild encounter. But when that random bug catcher locks eyes with you across the grass, can you just say no? Well, that's the question. And today, we are gonna get into every response from Gen 1 all the way through to Gen 9 to see, can you run away from a trainer battle? And what happens if you try? Come on, baby, let's go! Alright, first up, we have Pokemon Blue. But let's go, let's fight an Elite Four member and see what happens when you try to run away from a trainer in the first ever Pokemon games. It literally says no! Exclamation mark. There's no running from a trainer battle. Damn, that's actually quite aggressive. There's no running from a trainer battle. That's crazy. That's assertive. Who's saying this? Canonically, who's screaming no at you and then proceeding to say there's no running from a trainer battle? Is it her? Is Lorelai screaming no? No! No running from a trainer battle. Pokemon Red. This is the second game, Pokemon Red. Let's go strike up a battle with Lorelai and see if it gives us the same message when we try to run away from her. Oh my gosh, you're so scary, Lorelai. A dugong? Oh no. Let's run away, Charizard. No! No! There's no running from a trainer battle. Okay, so it is the exact same message as in Pokemon Blue. In Red, it is also no, there's no running from a trainer battle. No, there's no running from a trainer battle. But the no seems so assertive. It's no! Exclamation mark in both games. Like, that's crazy to me that the first thing when you try to run is somebody screaming no. There's no running from a trainer battle. Is it the professor? Is it the professor in your head? The same voice telling you not to ride your bike? Is it that voice? I wonder. Let me know in the comments. Now we have Pokemon Yellow, our first game in color, the third game on the list. Let's see what happens when we try to run away from Lorelai in Pokemon Yellow, the third game of Gen 1. She has the exact same voice lines from the first two games, so that stays the same. So maybe the text also stays the same. Let's see. No! The blowworms! There's no running from a trainer battle. So it is exactly the same as in Red and Blue. Interesting. It is exactly the same as in Red and Blue. They did not change that. You changed all the Pokemon. So for all of Gen 1, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. The text that appears when you try to run away from a trainer battle is no! There's no running from a trainer battle. On to Generation 2, y'all. Starting off with Pokemon Gold version. We're gonna see what happens in this game when you try and run away from a trainer battle. Did they change it between Gen 1 and 2? Let's find out, baby. Okay, what does it say? Is it the same in every single game? Don't tell me it's the same in every single game. Now on to Pokemon Silver, which might be the very same case. Oh no, look at our rival, you guys. He has a Totodile. Whatever shall we do? Our little fire type can't survive. We gotta run. No! There's no running from a trainer battle.
Oh Lord. Again. A fucking again.
Which by extension means it's exactly the same as it is in Red, Blue, and Yellow. They have not changed it between generations. I have a strong, sneaking suspicion that they might have never changed this text and it stayed the same across all gens. But I'm doing investigative journalism for y'all. I will find out for you and verify that fact.
Child. Anyway, so.
And now, for the final game of Generation 2, this is my Pokemon, Crystal Save. Oh no, a scary Elite Four trainer with a Xatu? Oh my goodness, Lugia, we gotta get out of here. Let's run. No! Stop it! There's no running from a trainer battle, and it's exactly the same. To whose surprise? Alright, y'all, now we're moving on to Generation 3, Pokemon Ruby. That rhymed. Now let's see what happens in these games when you try and run away from a trainer battle. Okay, it's the same line, but they did change a few things. Because it's widescreen, you can see the whole sentence as one block now. And they made the word trainer all caps. So now it says, no! There's no running from a trainer battle, specifically, because you can run from wild battles. So it's the same exact sentence, but it looks different now because of the wider screen, and they emphasize the word trainer, so there is a slight difference, y'all. This is the investigative journalism I made this channel for. And now, onto Pokemon Sapphire. Oh, I chose a woman in this one I love. It's giving girly girl boss.
It's giving he, she, we, they, them, non-binary, vegan, vegetarian. I'm scared. I'm gonna give it 2 stars.
Now let's see. The text is probably exactly the same, but I'm doing investigative journalism for y'all, okay? Okay? We're still gonna see if it's different between Sapphire and Ruby, even if it probably isn't. Oh no! Trainer Brendan sent out his Trico, but we're a water ground type. We better run away.
No!
There's no running from a trainer battle.
Well, yes.
And now to cap off this trio of games, we have Pokemon Emerald version. Let's see if there's any differences in Emerald. Let's see if the text is exactly the same as in Ruby and Sapphire. Or maybe they changed it in this game. Let's run away.
No.
There's no running from a trainer battle. Exactly the same as in Ruby and Sapphire. Who is surprised? Now, we are still on Generation 3, but we are now getting into Pokemon Fire Red, the remake of Pokemon Red on the original Game Boy, remade for the Game Boy Advance. Now, these are remakes of the Generation 1 games, so the text might end up actually being exactly the same as Gen 1, or it might have that little change that they added in Gen 3 where they emphasize the word trainer. Let's find out. The moment of truth, everybody. Let's see. Is it going to be identical to the Gen 1 games or identical to the Gen 3 game? Oh, so we finally have our first change.
Thank you.
So I think this is a lore drop. It has been Professor Oak saying it the entire time. No. There's no running away from a trainer Pokemon battle. They changed it. Instead of saying trainer battle, they did change it. Our first change. Our first actual word change, you guys. We had a case change in Gen 3. Now we have a case and word change and a lore drop that it is Professor Oak. Now let's see if it is exactly the same in Leaf Green. Oh no, a Weedle. We gotta run away, Steelix. Let's run.
Girl.
It is exactly the same. The one difference is it doesn't say Oak at the beginning because I guess the difference now is that we're not battling inside Oaks. This isn't the first battle of the game. So maybe that's why there's a change. But it is exactly the same as it is in Ruby and Sapphire, actually. So there is no change. It's exactly the same across the board, across all of Gen 3.
Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fuck.
The main change from Gen 1 and 2 to Gen 3, though, is the fact that they made the word trainer in all caps. Now we're moving on to Generation 4, everybody. Let's see, did they change it up in the new gen? What happens when you run from a trainer battle in this generation?
No.
There's no running from a trainer battle. Oh wow, so they reverted it back to what it used to be, where the word trainer is no longer emphasized in all caps, it's just what it was in Gen 1. They kept the exact same wording and everything. Gen 4 reverted back to the OG. Okay. Pokemon Diamond. Interesting.
Next up, Pearl.
And yet again, there is absolutely no change, to nobody's surprise. Diamond and Pearl are exactly the same, and this sentence has stayed the same since Gen 1. Exactly the same. With no significant change to this sentence whatsoever except for the one time in the beginning of the game in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, when Oak says Pokemon Trainer Battle, or Trainer Pokemon Battle is what he says actually. So that was the one change we had, and that's not even a real change because the rest of the time the sentence is actually the same in Fire Red and Leaf Green. So, yeah. And now, to round off this trio of Pokemon games, we have Pokemon Platinum. I want to see if maybe in this fan-made, remake, adaptation, whatever it is, maybe they changed something up. Maybe, let's see. Maybe the fans changed something. Oh no, Piplup, Barry sent out a Turtwig. Let's run away. The option to run just plain isn't there. Well, that's a change. Just remove the option outright. Okay, in Pokemon Renegade Platinum, you can't even run from a trainer battle. You can just fight or fight. No other options. Interesting. Interesting. That's what happens in Platinum. Now, Generation 4 is not over yet, y'all. This generation, just like Gen 3, also has remakes. The first remakes we had in Gen 3 were remakes of the Generation 1 games. Now in Gen 4, we have a remake of the Generation 2 games. A game I've never played. I've only ever played Crystal. That's the only Gen 2 game I've played. I've never played these remakes before. Let's see if they've changed anything up in these games.
No.
There's no running from a trainer battle. It is exactly the same. I'm not surprised. But for the sake of doing every game in every gen, for investigative journalism as well, we must check Heart Gold to see if it is exactly the same as Soul Silver. It probably is, but we have to check. So, it seems to be exactly the same in Pokemon Heart Gold as well.
I'm out of here.
Now we're getting into the first ever Pokemon games I completed. Pokemon Black and White. We are starting with Black, baby. Let's see, did Gen 5 change it up or did they not? Now let's see what it says.
No!
Exactly the same. For the goal of investigative journalism, we must check Pokemon White version as well. It's probably gonna be exactly the same, but we're checking anyways.
I was checking your ass. We were all checking your ass. How dare you?
Now, let's check Pokemon Black version 2. Is it exactly the same as has it been so far? Have they changed the sentence in Black and White 2?
I said no.
There's no running from a trainer battle. Wow, they're really sticking to their guns. They kept it the same all the way up until now, Gen 5. Damn, okay. But for investigative journalism, we must check the other version as well, because we are going through each game. So now let's check Pokemon White 2. It is exactly the same between Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 as well, which means it has not changed for 5 generations. That is a bit crazy.
Wow. Crazy.
Now, seeing as Gen 5 only had 4 games, that trend continues with Generation 6. Let's see if Gen 6 changed anything up whatsoever. Let's see what happens when we try and run away from these 2 trainers. Moment of truth. No, there's no running from a trainer battle.
Oh, okay.
No, there's no running from a trainer battle. The same exact sentence. Are they doing this as a reference at this point? Like, what is this for? Let's see what happens when we try running from Viola. Is it the same as in Pokemon X? In which case, does that mean it would be unchanged for 6 generations? Oh no, a Psyduck, let's run. No, there's no running from a trainer battle. And it's the same as in X. Who is surprised? No one. Now, something Generation 6 has that Generation 5 didn't have were remakes. And these are the remakes of the Generation 3 games. Are you noticing a pattern here? The remake we're starting with is Alpha Sapphire. Let's see if anything has changed at all, or if it is the exact same line. Let's find out. So, in the originals, your first trainer battle was with your rival. In this game, I think your first trainer battle is, oh, look at the Wingull, is with this kid. Now let's see, y'all. Fingers crossed for any changes. I'm not anticipating any changes because it hasn't changed for 6 gens, and if this is a remake, it's probably going to be the same wording as it was in the original. But let's try and run. Who knows?
Let us see.
What happens when I try and run away from you, Miss Gym Leader Extraordinaire? What's her name? Roxy? And that last one, what's her name? Roxanne.
Roxanne, all she wanna do it.
Let's see, is it exactly the same as in Alpha Sapphire? Yes, it is. To no one's shock or dismay. But that is all of the Gen 6 games. Let's move on to Gen 7. Maybe Gen 7. Maybe there'll be a change in Gen 7. And starting off Gen 7, we have Pokemon Moon. Let's see if there's a change. I know there's a lot of Gen 1 love in Gen 7, but let's see. Maybe they changed. Maybe they changed the runaway line. Maybe. Liddy, my Litten. That's Liddy the Litten, you guys. Say hello to Liddy. He's very angry. You guys, I'm starting to think that they just might not have changed it for any game, but I'm still gonna investigate for y'all. I'm still gonna investigate. Pokemon Sun, let's have some fun. Let's run away. No, there's no running from a trainer battle. Exactly the same, to no one's surprise. And the next, but not the last Gen 7 games are Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, what happens when you try and run in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? No, there's no running from a trainer battle. Exactly the same.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
Now, moving on to Generation 8, baby. Let's see if they've actually changed anything at all in this gen. Ooh, I have a shiny Charizard.
Oh.
Shiny Pokemon.
You got your money. He got money. Get it all for him.
Schooling form, nice, nice. Now let's see, moment of truth, y'all, let's see. No, there's no running from a trainer battle. Exactly the same, no punctuation change, nothing. No, there's no running away from a trainer battle. Interesting. And finally, we have Generation 9. Let's see what happens when you try and run away from a trainer battle in Gen 9, everybody. Let's see. Let's see. Is it the same as in every single other game? Has it remained unchanged from the beginning? Let us see. So it has changed. Generation 9 changed it for the first time ever to You Can't Escape. This is very cool. Okay, I did not think we would get to the end and have it change. In the DLC, in the final thing, when you try and exit a trainer battle, it just says, You Can't Escape, with an exclamation mark. Very ominous, Professor Oak. If in lore this is still Oak saying this, he is screaming at you, You can't escape.
So yeah, after 9 generations, the answer is quite simple. You cannot run away from a trainer battle. They are mandatory. The only way to get through one is to battle yourself, to white out, or to avoid eye contact with all trainers like you're trying to avoid somebody at the local spa. But if you liked watching me try and survive in the wilderness whilst catching Pokemon for all of y'all, then please subscribe, give me a like, send me a prayer next time a kaiju cricket comes for me. But that's all I got to say for this week. Your Pokemon girl is out. Goodbye.